Hey guys, welcome back. All right, so this Sunday is a very important date. It is Mother's Day. But don't worry if you don't have anything for your mom yet. We are going to be making something just for her today. All right, so moms, if you want it to be a surprise, maybe you could step into the other room for a second while I show them what we're gonna be making. All right, we are gonna be making this vase with flowers, and these flowers are pretty cool because they are actually three-dimensional. See how they pop off my paper like that? All right, so the supplies you're going to be needing today to make this are some colored pieces of paper. If you don't have any colored paper, that's fine. You could always use a recycled piece of art or maybe even paint a piece of white paper, the color you're going to want to be using, but of course, wait for it to dry. Scissors to cut the strips to create the flowers and the stems, and of course, to cut out our vase. And let's see, glue. I use a glue stick in the video, but liquid glue works as well. And then a marker to write Happy Mother's Day on the vase. All right, so why don't you guys grab those things, get them together, and then we'll get started. All right, so we're gonna start with our flowers. I want my flowers to be pink like you saw in the video and like this one right here. So I'm gonna use a pink piece of paper for my flowers, but you guys can use any color you'd like. You can have a bunch of different colored flowers. It's up to you. Next, you want to make sure you're cutting on this end of the paper, the shorter side. You don't want to cut the longer strips because they'll just be way too big to fit all those flowers on your paper. So you want to go this side, and I even trim mine a little bit shorter. Mine's about 8 inches right here. So that's going to be a really good length. Next, what you're going to do is cut your strips. So you don't want them to be too wide. So that would be way too big right there. You just need to cut little strips it's probably about 1/2 inch. Let's check. A little less than 1/2 inch. We'll start cutting our strips just like this. And you're going to need 4 strips for each flower. So there's my 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so now that I have my 4 strips, I'm going to start crossing them. So I'm going to start with 2, and I'm going to make an X. Just like this. Now I'm going to go ahead and take my glue stick. You can use liquid glue too if that's all that you have. It's just going to be a bit messier. And I kind of prefer to use glue sticks. So I'm going to use my glue stick right here. And I'm going to put a little glue dot right in the center of my bottom X, or my bottom strip of paper. And then I'm just going to create that X, press down, hold 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Got a good stick. There we go. My next strip of paper, I'm going to put through the center down through my X. So again, I'm going to do a little glue dot. And press down. Make sure it stays in the middle. There we go. And then my last one is going to go through the center just like this, like a horizontal line, okay? A little glue dot. And let's see, press down. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right, so it kind of looks like a star right now. So what you're going to do next to get this three-dimensional shape is you're going to start folding the ends of your paper towards the center. So I'm going to start with my top one, but before I pull it down, I'm going to go ahead and put that glue dot there again. Okay, and then I'm going to bring this one, pull it down, press it down onto the center. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I'm going to keep doing that all the way around. And I'm going to speed this part up so you guys don't have to watch me do it each step by step. All right, and once you have all of your pieces folded towards the center, you're going to take a yellow circle, or it could be really any color circle that you would like, put a little glue on the back, just like that, and you're going to press it down on the center to cover up all those paper lines. Make it look a bit neater. Hold it down a little bit, and when you pick it up, you have your three-dimensional flower. All right, so I'm going to make maybe 1 or 2 more of these. and then I'm going to show you how to put everything together. All right, so I'm going to be using this purple piece of paper for my background paper, and I have my 3 flowers I made. Your next step you're going to want to do is do the stem for your flowers. So I'm just going to, again, use the shorter side of the paper and create some strips. If you had pipe cleaners at your house that were green, those would work really great for this step. Or you could even paint some popsicle sticks. Or even if you have like a green straw or something, or if you want to paint it like a paper straw green, that would look really cool too. Lots of different options. Or if you don't have any green paper, you could always just draw the stem with a green marker on your paper or paint a piece of white paper green. Okay, so now I have, these are going to be my stems for my flowers. So I'm going to go ahead, I want to place them first before I glue them, just to make sure I like where they are. Okay. Make sure they're not poking out behind my flowers or up top. All right, I think I want them to kind of come more like a diagonal line down, like this, or like a bouquet. Okay, so I think I like where those are placed. I'm gonna pull this one down a little bit. So my next step, I'm gonna glue them down, and then I'm going to create a vase. So let me pull that paper out. Let's put this to the side, and let's go ahead and make our vase. All right, so I have this kind of Krigsy splattered piece of paper that I made earlier. I just splattered it, and then I folded it over to create a symmetrical print, which works out because we are going to be folding this piece of paper to make our vase. So I'm going to go ahead and fold it over again, and then with a pencil, I'm going to draw half the shape of the vase I want. So I'm going to start with a straight horizontal line, just like that. And then I want it to come in a bit, the diagonal line. And then I want it to curve at the bottom. So I'm going to curve down just like that. Now remember, when you are using this method to cut out a shape, you don't want to start at the top because you need that piece of paper to be connected right there, or it won't work out for you. So make sure there's space at the bottom and at the top before you cut yours out. Remember to just draw half your shape. So if you're having trouble just drawing half your shape, maybe with your finger you could draw the whole shape and figure it out first. Okay, now that I have that drawn on my paper, I'm going to go ahead and cut it out. That's how I'm starting on the folded side too. That's very important. You don't want to start on the side that opens up because it won't work out if you do it that way. Okay, let's see how it looks. Awesome, it's just how I wanted. Okay, I do think I'm gonna round off these corners because those look a little sharp for me. So now I can fold it back again and just do a little cut. Let's see how that looks. Ah, perfect. Okay, so then I'm gonna bring my flower paper back. And let's see, it's a little bit big, so I think I might make it a little smaller, and that's okay. So I can go ahead and fold it back over. And I'm just gonna shorten it. So cut a little bit off at the bottom. There we go. Maybe a little at the top too. All right, so that should be a good size. Great. Okay, so there is my vase. I'm gonna go ahead and glue this down, write a little fun message on this, and I'll show you guys what it looks like at the end. All right, and I'm all done. I went ahead and added some leaves to my flowers right here, and then I wrote Happy Mother's Day on the vase down below. Now you guys, of course, could add more details if you'd like. And remember, if you don't have all of these materials at home, you can always create them by coloring a piece of paper the color you'd want your flowers or your stem. And you could always find a piece of paper to recycle for your vase. So if you have an old painting that maybe you don't like quite as much anymore, maybe you can take it and make it into something new. All right, thank you guys for following along. I had so much fun. I hope you guys have a great weekend, and happy Mother's Day, moms.